Hello, all you super geniuses out there. Welcome to another video lecture by Super Genius 99. Okay, and today what we're going to do is some writing to the console. Okay, so here we're going to write to the console. So what I have up here is real nice, easy to follow program where I declare an integer. I call it my num. I assign it the value of 5, and then I write it to the console. So two main ways you can output to the console is console write and console write line. So like it sounds, writes to the console, and when it's done writing, it does not go to the next line of the console. Whereas write line, which we have here, when it writes, it'll write to the console and then go to the next line. So if I ever take two of these write lines and put them back to back and run it, then you would see the two write lines. Now, one thing you got to remember is in order for this program to not close as soon as it's done, we have to put console and put another write line. And I'll put in there press enter to continue. And then I'll put a console read line. Okay. So the console read line will just sit there until someone presses enter. So I should press enter to end. Okay. END. So run that. And there you see me writing the 5 to two separate lines. So if you want to write 5 to the same line, you just do a console write. And because it's write line, you're going to notice that the output is back to back. Because we didn't code for a space, we didn't code for a new line except for that last write line. So one thing you want to do is if you do writes, like console write, add in a space just to make it nice to read. So I'm going to do this console write. There's lots of ways to do this. This is not the only way. I'm just doing a way. Okay. And I'm going to put another one between that number and oops. Interfaces are sensitive. Okay. So now we should see, right, space, press enter to end, and then it'll end. Okay, let's do another example. Okay, so here we are once again printing to the console, but we are also formatting the output. So now we have two numbers. One is an integer, int a, and another is a double. I'm using double B. And I'm going to print out in the console the A plus the B equals the result. Let's print that, see what it looks like. And you can verify with the calculator, yes, 5 plus 12 plus 7 equals 17 plus 7. So what this does is if you're writing mixing numericals or variables inside of a string of text, the 0, the 1, the 2 tells the compiler where to put that variable, insert that variable in the text. So I can put text in front of this 0, behind this 0, and it makes it a whole lot easier to move around rather than trying to know exactly where you're going to put it. So if you want to move that text around, it makes it a whole lot easier than the old school way. So the old school way would be to do this right here. So I'd actually write the A and then have this A right here, and then the B, excuse me, and then have the B right there, and then I have to have the plus, and then I'd have to do another plus. So you already see how long and tedious this is. And then put in so I would have to write out, I'd have to break plus A plus break plus B plus break equals, and then that. And so when you run it, you'll notice it gets 5 and then 12 plus 7. So because there's a string in front of it, right, it does not, what's the word? It doesn't add it because there's already a string. So even this way, I would have to add the A plus B first and then insert it into the string. So this way it's cleaner, it's nicer. I say it's easier, so go with it. All right, let's look at another example. Okay, so this example, we're just going to output a string to the console. So we're just going to make up a string name. Okay. Give it some text and output it to the console. And so this is a real basic printing to the console. So there you go. You got your hello world. You print to the console. All right, let's do something a little more complex, just a little more. Okay, so I'm going to create a string. Let's name him John. And let's give John a year he was born. Oops, gotta turn on my numlock. A year he was born. Okay. Equals to. And then now let's print that out into the console. So when I print it to the console, it looks something like this. Okay. Let's run that. John was born in the year 1975. Pretty simple. So that's the way you can format strings. Okay, now let's talk about a little bit about formatting. So here I have a double, $3.50, or some people like to say in the hood, $3.50. And here I have a sentence, and I have where I want the price to go. The cost of a Reese's Pieces is, anybody out there like Reese's Pieces? Good, me too. A plus for you. The cost of Reese's Pieces is the price. Okay. So now notice how my double price, I've put it in $3.50, 3.50, but when I output it to the console, it comes up 3.5. Okay. So if you want to keep that same formatting, you got to do a little something something, and I'll show it to you right now. Okay, so rather than we have this 0, which is the index, I'm going to put a colon 0.00. So that means I want my output to be formatted to 2 decimal places. So notice the previous one was 3.5, but now the output should look like, voila, 3.50. Okay. So that's how you do numerical formatting. And you can look up in your book and online for other examples of numerical formatting because you always want to be learning and growing.